So, are we seeing the slide?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, more rules. Uh, we already talked about some of these, but when we talked about peak envelope power, um, this was one of their definitions, which isn't exactly correct. It's the peak power. Um, turns out the average power if you were to say um, be in CW mode and you held the key down, so you'd have a constant envelope. That peak would be also the average power. It's kind of hard to measure uh, the peak uh, easily on something like single sideband because the envelope is so ragged. It depends on your voice. Um, the effective radiated power again is your power multiplied by the gain of the antenna relative to the dipole. So if you have more gain than a dipole, you have to reduce the power. And the EIRP, the equivalent isotropic, is the same thing. And if your gain is more than an isotropic radiator, then you have to reduce the gain. The only place I've really seen the EIRP is on that 60-meter band. And here's just a list of, for most of the bands, what the power limit is. Um, so, like on the 160-meter band, the entire band is available at 1500 watts. Um, on 80 meters, you have uh, this upper subband. We talked about the 60, where you're limited to 100 on those 4 channels, and oh, this should be EIRP for 9.15 watts instead of, oh no, excuse
Um,
me. No, that's right. If it was EIRP, it would be 15 watts. 200 is the 30-meter band. So those are really the only 3 that are different. And the ones in yellow are the ones where there's that subband in the middle for amateurs, for extras, and advanced. So 1500 is the legal maximum output power, unless there's an exception, which are the 30 and the 60. And also, if you are operating on 60 and you have an antenna different than a half wave dipole, you have to document what antenna you're using so that if the FCC inspector, highly unlikely, would ever come by and check, you have to have that information in your logbook, which you're not required to have anymore, but it's a good idea. And the main thing to remember is you should only use the minimum power necessary for communications. Likewise, probably learned this with using repeaters. You should only use as much power as necessary to get to the repeater. Uh, and this is especially important when you're talking to a satellite, because satellite has limited power. So if you uh, blast it with the maximum power you have, it's going to try to repeat it at the maximum power, which takes power away from other users. And on 60, we talked about the weird stuff, the 100 watts on the channels, and also that you need to operate in upper sideband. I don't think I had that on there before. Where normally for a low frequency below 10 megahertz, protocol is you'd operate at lower sideband. This is one of the exceptions where you operate on upper sideband, as well as if you're doing some of the digital modes where regardless of the band, you operate on upper sideband. And this is the old 60 meter 5-width 5-channel thing that's been recently changed. So they added that middle one. The digital modes, and I believe this is another one where they have withdrawn it. Exactly why I'm not sure, but they they've opened up the data rate, I guess is why, and they did it during the question pool. So it used to be if you were operating below 10 meters, you were limited to 300 baud symbol rate. When you got up to above 10 meters, you could go up to 1200 baud. If any of you are old enough to remember making a computer connection uh, through a modem as opposed to on the internet, where you had a 300 baud or 1200 baud modem, or if you really got up to 19 kilobaud or even 56, I mean, it's amazing. Well, these are kind of antiquated rates, but they did it because of the bandwidth. The higher the symbol rate, the higher the bandwidth required. So there aren't too many questions on this one. What's the maximum transmitting power a station may use on 10.140 megahertz?
Charlie.
I guess.
Oops.
Okay, so
Remember, 10 megahertz is 30 meters. That's the.
Okay.
What's the maximum transmitting power an amateur station may use on the 12-meter band?
Bravo. Let's see. 12-meter band.
Are you sure? Well, we know delta is specifically 60 meters.
For the dipole, yeah.
Should I say Charlie again?
Charlie, yeah.
Charlie. That's just one to confuse you. It makes you think, well, gee, is that a special one? No. What's the maximum bandwidth permitted by FCC rules for radio stations transmitting on upper sideband frequencies in the 60-meter band?
You know, it's like you talked about these things, I never heard it.
Okay, so that's alpha.
Alpha, right. It's 2.8 on all the bands, and the 15 kilohertz band, you're still limited to 2.8 kilohertz bandwidth, which is the typical bandwidth for single sideband. Okay, which of the following required when operating in the 60-meter band? We just talked about that.
Yeah, that would be alpha.
Alpha.
Alpha. What's the limit for transmitter power on the 28 megahertz band for a general class control operator?
Alpha. Oh, PEP output.
That's Charlie, right?
Charlie. Yep.
Yeah.
That's another one. They threw that control operator in to confuse you.
Extra information.
What is the limit for transmitter power on the 1.8 megahertz band? That's 160 meters.
160 meters.
Yeah, it's actually
that's delta.
delta, right? They just did those to see if you were paying attention.
Because there's only two that are different from the 1500. So if you're not specifying those specific two, all the other answers are going to be 1500.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. What must be done before using a new digital protocol on the air?
Oh, you have to make sure it's totally documented. Charlie.
Delta. Oh, Charlie.
Charlie. All right. All you have to do is document it so that somebody could decode it.
Right.
This is one of the data rates that was withdrawn.
Okay. Frequencies are below 28.
So below 10 meters.
Is 300 delta.
Delta.
Yep. Oh, and this one was withdrawn because they changed the power limit.
Okay, so what is my power limit on the 60-meter range? Oh, we just saw that. I'm guessing that's the Charlie?
Charlie.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, another withdrawn.
That's the same one, isn't it?
The maximum symbol rate permitted for basically data mode.
Which is
1200. Charlie.
10 meters.
Charlie.
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 Because it was below 10 meters is 300. So 10 meters and up, it's 1200. But it's not a question anymore, so it's just something to remember. What measurement is specified by FCC rules that regulate maximum power?
Charlie. No. Sorry. Delta. No, wait.
Well, that's a good question.
It's from
Which
the
is it,
antenna.
Charlie or
Whatever
Delta?
it is, it's from the antenna. Oh. Well, I would think it would be from the antenna, but it isn't there.
Well, let's see what they say.
Yep.
Okay. From the transmitter.
Yeah. I mean, you would think they'd be the same, but when they say input to the antenna, they could be meaning at the physical antenna.
Right.
And your power wouldn't be the same, be less than the output of the transmitter, because you're going to have loss through a tuner and through the coax.
Right. That's right. I remember.
It's kind of a, weird question.